And once again, yo, what it do? Back again after a long time. Bit of a hiatus. You know who it will be. Sunray, aka Little Brother to Mill 679, aka SaBula, kicking it with the patience. You know what we're doing with the flagrants, just coming through, just kicking some more like impromptu conversation in this time. Like it's been a while since I've been down, so I've just been through a little bit of a travel trip. Came back, went interstate, came back, so I just thought I'd get some what you call this, some thoughts going around. So anybody wants to jump up in a little while, I'll more than welcome. I'll just show you this little site here if you haven't seen. It's soundclick.com. There's a link in the description. If you like new sort of beats that I've made, I don't know what time it is where you're at. Hopefully everything comes through smooth. Much peace to the first flat bow king, thank you for coming instead of rain. Big rain coming at you. And to the grandma, hopefully all blessings always. Much peace. This is just some impromptu idea I thought I'd come through. I'll just play some jams for a while, talk a bit, and I want to get your voice heard. See how you're feeling out there, man. Taking my time, taking my run. This is how I do it. This is the way. People play. Now I'm through it. People will talk. People will sleep. People will walk. Just press the thumbs. Just hit it up. You can do what? You just want. Concentrate. Evaporate. Let me just think about something else now. There's some. This is. We getting there. Smoke that part, boy. Smoke that part, fuck that rock. Smoke that part, fuck that rock. It's making you rock. Man, I love my sticky good butt. Pack it in a bowl. Get my head swole, that's right now, I got control. How many times you seen this guy on chemical said he'd do it and die? Said he'd do it the last time. Man, he never did try. All he did was just do the same. See him falling down, can't see himself moving lane. Did shame. Fuck all that, it's whack. He can't say it right. When I'm on the track and I don't know where we'll at that. But I'm back. I don't know what to say. I love to say this. black, intense, funky, grandma, that's right. Yeah, we got to play, 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 yeah. We got to funk worldwide, we got to funk in our brain. You good, you good. Shit, do that clean. That's how I move it. It's like I'm clean. Looking for fix. It's full of shit. All of the shit that you try. Try. Tell them to get up, Sign of the time. Politicians lie. You wonder why. Sign of the time, boy. Sign of the time. Politicians lie. What? You wonder why? Let me just get it back on the beats and the break on the cake back to 1986 when the war, beast swarm, that's right. Yo, it didn't form till I was the best thing to say that on the microphone, to say that in school. That's right, yo, fool. Blazing up, backwards, put it in front of my side, put it in my mind, form a shepherd, never super fine. That is rappers with a face, but I know it inside my mind. All manifesting questions. This is what can change. This is stop progression. Stop beat, stop wild, stop beat. We're doing that. We're doing that all day. Hey. So hello, chill. I hope everybody's out there. Any subjects you guys want to kick into? Oh, I found workout beat. Oh, nice, grandma. What program you use? Check. Grandma, app in effect. Check. Grandma app on the ending effect. Check. Grandma app is straight in effect. Come on. Check. And connect on the internet. She makes beats, she makes rhymes, she cooks fine. She does it all the time in a lace online. She does it with ease and everybody looks back. How beauty will breeze and everybody lay back. That's that. Cause there's nowhere to start to make individual jokes. And don't waste the time to make one of a kind, one of a dime. Beauty. That's a senorita voice in our community. In that community, we got to love and spray. We got to keep the great stay of the mothers from mother each other. The beautiful black spring that brings the child that's on the mind, that takes it on us a mind. It takes one to know one flow, one bring it back. How it's all this rhythm inside, it's on contact. And this is freestyle straight in my mind. I just woke up and started ripping rhymes. Never give you, now I continue. Grandma abs on the beat. Continue, all wanna learn. Somehow strive and make a change. Somehow strive and change lanes. Yes, change. But all the people want to talk about is strippers, dollars, and all the stories they got. All the alcohol that they wasted, all the fucking times that they're twerking and working, all the money they made, they put it on the back. Man, you gotta pay your dues when you're walking on the track. You can't step up and out there try to push weight. Nowadays people gone crazy. Get the fuck out, you gotta do what I did when this is all that I live. We stack when they made it big, put it for the fat, out in front of Jack, out in front of Jake, with the plenty pack. We did it properly, we had morals and stories, we didn't steal for feel, we did it right. But now these motherfuckers coming with the 701 with big blades and the force and the fun. But what's gonna happen in 5 years? It's gonna be 12 on 7. Holy shit, boy, think about it. It's going up, it's blowing up, it's wasted. It's blowing up, it's blowing up, it's wasting. Use your concentration. Down in the beach on the beach, lying down by the sand. The coconut tree shaped me, and that's all I can. Well, I'm down by the beach, now I'm laying down by the sand. The coconut tree shapes me, and that's all I need, that's all I can. Yo, I lay a bit of ganja in the road, will make my heart swell, get my own throat. Forget the intro, this is the outro. What's the conclusion? There's no confusion, no delusion. Let's get right on the mindset, keep it straight. How you gonna fix with a freestyle? Emotion in 30 seconds, they're breaking and breaking, there's all erasing on the board. Now you write it down with pencil, pen. Listen, there's no phone at the end. People get their mobile phones to make a reference and then they Google that. Think it over, computer back, they're calm and intelligent. Where's the reference? Here's the better shit. Just you regurgitate words that you heard on a further plate, like curriculum in school. You fool, learn about yourself, learn about your health, what works best, and then do that. Don't stop, boy, just do that. What works for you, you must do it. Be your own boss, just do it. And that's a better pour for that. The pour for the people, yeah, get your coming up. You're never gonna be one on the rise up. Thinking of force and they're running up. You never thought that I'd be full timer. You never thought that you never make it. You were generated. One day just contemplate. Manifest in right direction. Peace on the mic and you use protection. God is the law. Ancestors, come give me pause. When I blaze up the sensei, when I blaze up the steam, the smoke purifies my soul and it makes me feel so clingy. And this is all the music I make, expressing my soul and the time that to take. People record anything that I make, but it makes no sense when you're off on tape like this. Slap facts out, ribbity rap, pick back your riggedy rap. Yeah, we're back to back. Alright, so what? We're back up in here. Where's this beat playing from over here? I could still share it. I don't know if you guys still want to hear it. I might as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't know about Takashi. One more flow. Here I am, somewhere on the jam. LBD 679, up on the tape, but it's not a race. I'ma just win, I'ma just begin. I'm a whisper like the wind. I blow with the breeze, I blow with the trees, I blow with the natural palm, the palm leaves. When I grow into seas, overseas, and the acrobatic with the fun flow at ease. Like the water was flowing, H2O be growing, sunlight shining down, and then the seeds are growing. Full of poise to the texture. I don't need to kick a lecture. Nature is the best son, and you best understand. Dr. Saber told you what's gonna ban. Nipsey Hussle tried to make a document. What's going on with everything, man? Now we're hearing the case, hearing the play, all too late. Now we understand it's disgrace, hearing the place, hearing disgrace, it's all too late. Fucking disgrace, hearing the case, we're hearing the play, it's all too late. What a damn disgrace, hearing the case, we're hearing the fake, and we're hearing the play. But I'm right here, hearing the play. Rhyme, continuing to kick the shit, and every time horrific I spit the shit as I rip it. I got the gift, I gotta get the gab when I had to stab, never got to grab when the pen and the pad. But so people and the pressures keep the peace. Let's not forget the shorties that and bodies that break a little time. I lost too many friends to the dirt of the shit, murder the shit, overdose to hurt of the shit, accidents and all the rhymes, armed robberies and downtime. Motherfucker, not good at the good, too much bail time, bail money makes motherfuckers to be funny. You better save up and keep your lawyer money, dummy. It's the way you gotta do when you're living on the street. You gotta think about the way you're acting, that's a fact. But if you don't know anything about it, I don't doubt it, shout it. You're fake, you were late, you were just a prison in your fake. You gotta put it in your eye, be your own boss, do what you wanna do, come with that fun. It's all inside about that, yes. We are the best. The human body is the most technologically advanced system in the whole of existence. And it has been this way, and we are just trying to copy and edit it and replicate to our detriment. We are trying to replicate to our detriment. A human body is heaven sent. We are trying to replicate to a detriment. A heaven body. Whoa, we are replicate to a detriment. Cause the body has been heaven sent. Now I wasted time, I think of all the years that I had when I went through my teens. And I saw but I grabbed all the ass that I grabbed, all the shows that I played, all the drugs that I passed, hand to hand we arranged, all the stacks that I taxed, all the ways that I chips, all the runs that I runs, all the times that I flipped, all the times in the cell when I was just sitting down, thinking about all the time. What I could have been now, where I could have been later to say, now we activated, and you're going to your early 20s, now you're gonna make it, so you trip a school, trip a fool, still going out to act, when you're going on the street, but you get it back, double up quick, what the fuck, you need a job, oh my god, they make it so easy to do this job, but if you can't understand the way the streets work, it's all the game, motherfucker, then you reverse. Don't start doing it, don't start doing it if you don't have a damn clue. Just what you learn. Stick in your lane, stick in your lane. Don't start doing it, don't start doing it, don't start if you have a clue. You got to rhyme, it's got to rhyme. Yeah, the only fucking situation where you're gonna end up is dead, incriminated, or permanently injured. Shit like that went about to counteract on it. About 2% of these people go overseas and make it, all the full bladed, all the time their boat is inflated, they didn't catch no plane, they roughed it out for about 65 days, but once that shit was done, 10 million in a hand, now we're gonna go on in the Caribbean sand, talking about a band, talking about a jam, but I'm talking about the people who were waiting on the slamming. Let's think about it, and where the opium wars, the Barclays banks they made all them funds for, this is the real shit, go and learn it, the Barclays Center, that is burned to. Because they made the money from the opium wars, feeding the Chinese all the heroin, destroying them, polluting them, annoying them with the plan. Good old broke, they put their funds up. It's a load, it's a joke nowadays. Through after industrialization, they're running the fucking nation. It's bullshit joke. But that's all good. Now we out of here and I'll come back. Bitch. Alright. Bitch. So,
come back, man. I see you.
I hope everybody is chilling. Alright. I'll put the link back in here. Grandma, if you want to come up, that'd be really cool.
Come back, man. I see you.
Hope everybody is
to talk a few beats.
Alright. I'll put the link back in here. But Grandma, if you want to come up, that'd be really cool.
Come back, man. I see you.
Hope everybody is
to talk a few beats.
Alright. I'll put the link back in here. But Grandma, if you want to come up, that'd be really cool.
Come back, man. I see you.
Hope everybody is talk a few beats. Alright. I'll put the link back in here. But Grandma, if you want to come up, that'd be really cool.
Great entrant. Great entrant. New person on the panel. Everybody make welcome. Make welcome. Hope you can all hear. Great entrant. Great entrant. How are you feeling this morning? You might be muted still. That's all good. Get things together. Time being, time done, time fresh. Feeling fine. Hope everybody is feeling right, man. So, I'm glad a few people rocked up, turned up. And my brother Xander. How you going, G? Feeling good, feeling good. Just got grandma up here. I think she's still muted. I just dropped the link. I just thought I'd come through. You just missed me, bro. I was busting rhymes. Let's all G. Maybe you. It's probably a better thing. Nah, just But if you got anything on your mind, bro, you want to talk about, or just, discuss, more than welcome to get up. Or if you've got anything you want to learn about, I can look it up on Google. Or just hit the link. More than welcome. Oop, I think Grandma just left. She was there for a second, but Bronze, if you're out there, you want to hear Stingray? It's all G, but what do I probably like? Well, this was an interesting fact, actually. I'll show you this. I looked up this last night. Where is it? Are you showing the screen? Not yet. Alright. So, going back into the sort of thoughts and realm of forced labor, indentured labor, as they called it, after slavery stopped. Slavery had been abolished. But I mean, reading back into this, we could really, really go into, if this breaks down, there was a lot of quite disturbing information. But who's to say what we type in off Google is, correct and whatnot straight off the bat? But one famous, not famous, but very integral part of history that I would like people to be aware of. Now, obviously, people know the movie 300. Excuse me, but I think that's his name, isn't it? The Leonidas. He was the first king of Sparta here, right? So they named that ship. It was the first labor transport ship, often called a schooner, that played an important role in the history of Fiji. She, referring to the boat, so it's matriarchal maritime law, they're kind of saying, or she birthed it, maybe, I don't know. They're talking about the ship. She had been earlier used to carry indentured laborers to the West Indies, having transported 580 indentured laborers to St. Lucia in 1878. Now, another part, I was watching I think verse, it's, this one here. Oh no, maybe it's not this one here, but, this one here. Oop, wasn't that one there? But yeah, see, they basically, it was a 2-month trip in like really poor conditions, like very, very, like, okay, this is the one I was looking for. This day in history, Leonidas arrives in Fiji. So this is the 14th of May in 1879. This was written in 2018. Um, Now, the Leonidas specially fitted 1,600-ton ship carrying 522 uh, Girimatia indentured labourers, men and women from Calcutta, stagger into the horizon of Lavuka, a major British port town in eastern Fiji. The ship left Calcutta on the 28th of January 1879. So let's go into January, February, March, April, May. 3.5 months on a boat in savage conditions. Okay. And its crew, most of the Gurmans had suffered severely from bouts of cholera, dysentery, and smallpox during the 3.5 month long voyage. The latter had been most fatal, taking at least 19 lives. Since it was getting dark, Leonidas Captain McLaughlin decided against entering an unfamiliar harbor full of sharp coral reefs. The next morning, Lavuka's British administration woke to the potentially disastrous news about the Leonidas and its crew. It turned out that some of the Girimateers were still suffering from cholera and smallpox, and therefore bringing the ship to the harbor might have devastating effect on the European and indigenous population of Fiji. A measles epidemic born by European maritime trade had already killed a third of Fiji's 150,000 indigenous population in 1875. Now that's horrific, right? And another potential epidemic of cholera and smallpox might have been even more crippling effect. So just to get a little bit of an idea, if you can see here, this is where these people traveled from for 3.5 months. I don't know where the ship went, if it went that way or through here. I'm probably guessing it went under this way. But that was something I was looked at yesterday. It's kind of, these are the facts I want to get out to people because not much peace for sure, but thanks everybody for joining in, man. Anybody who wants to come up, if you haven't got the link in the thing, just come up. I'm just talking, topics that's coming off my brain at the moment. But if you guys do want you're not sharing the screen. Sorry, guys. Here we go. So this is the distance. You probably heard me speak it, but this was the distance that these fellas travelled. We'll let it kind of, so they're going all the way from here. They probably travelled down under here, over there, 3.5 months in dirty, dirty conditions, cramped up, diseased, born, and they were, and it wasn't. These people were taken in a way. Same. I mean, I'm sure it happened in America too, and the same thing. I mean, it happened all over the world. People tricked people. They said, "Oh, come over here, work for me. We'll pay you a certain wage. We'll house you. You'll just have to work for the day hours, and then, you'll receive your wage and live happily in a new land." When it came down to the crunch, there was a lot of loopholes, and there was tax, and they didn't get paid the right rates. They were sheltered into 6 men into like a 3 square meter living space, one toilet, just horrific conditions. And this is the obvious reason why the CSR. I don't know if you guys have that in America. They Colonial Sugar Refining Company. I think they multi-million-dollar company, same as Barclays Bank, as I mentioned before. I'll mention it again. All the funds which were derived from Barclays Bank, I'm sure Americans have heard of Barclays Bank and the Barclays Center. It's a big London financial institution, banking institution, all its funds were raised during the Opium Wars through funding of selling the opium and heroin into China to deplete the population, all in against the will and want of the Chinese government, completely opposed to the British government, telling them, no, we do not want that. They wanted the silks, the teas out of China, and all these, immaculate things they considered, but they couldn't afford it, and they were just trying to make money. And it's very, very true. If you guys look that up, to this day, the Barclays Bank, Barclays Center, their fortunes were derived from this disgusting trade. So, I mean, I mean, like, where do you go? Where do you go? That's a fact. That's a fact. So do they tell you now, okay, that was wrong? Don't do that again. I don't think they do. It's more about learning curriculum, and just because it's business, right? It's capitalism is when you go to school and you learn the curriculum, it's profit is the bottom line. So they might be saying profit over people or things like that, but really, at the end of the day, that counts more. If the capitalist in that entity, that business corporation, is going to have a successful year, um, most likely it's going to have a labor force which it encroaches on in an advantageous way to complete its goals. And this is something which is kind of strange because, like, I don't understand why people need to take it that far. Like, they've just got to, banks make like $120 million revenue, uh, like on top unexpectedly every year. The bank CEOs get like CEOs get like $350,000 salary with a $1.2 million bonus every year. That's just ridiculous to me. So, that's how it is. And that's how it will be. That's how it was. But we should stay stagnated. So, I mean, any ideas? Let's see, what's another idea I could think about? Um, I'll go back on this. Oh, okay, I'll do two. I'll do two. Um, okay, so Lucky Fiji. So first I was going to go some Aboriginal words, but what I'll do, I'll talk about Undre. He was a great chief of Fijian times. I mean, the past of Fiji, sorry. Hang on a minute, Chrome tab. Okay, so he'll be up here now. He's got a profile place there. I don't know if I want to read Wikipedia. I might go later. Tomb of Andre. So if you want to go TripAdvisor. Lucky, see, that's not far from where my parents live, actually. Not at all. My mother's from Ravi, and dad's from Pesaro. It's kind of like Viti level May Island. So anyway, back to the point. Let's see what this gentleman says here. And I'll go into this. Okay, Pronounced Undre. This guy, you're gonna call him a guy, are you? He was a renowned chief, warrior chief, highly prestigious, respected man of the land, not just a guy, fool. Get it right. Anyway, um, pronounced Undre was a Fijian chief who is buried in a tomb in a nondescript place just before Raki Township. He apparently ate 99 victims. No big deal to look at, as it is badly in need of tidying. Yeah, see, that's a bit off. We'll go to the wiki and see what it says over there, because it's kind of disputed. See over here. Excuse me. Okay, so Ratu means chief. Ratu Undre, pronounced Undre, died 1840. Was a Fijian chief. Let's see what they say. Ratu is a Austronesian title used by male Fijians of chiefly rank. An equivalent title, Adi, is used by females of chiefly rank. In the Malay language, the title Ratu is also a traditional honorific title referring to the ruling king or queen in the Javanese culture. Okay, so Undre is listed in the Guinness World Book of Records as the most prolific cannibal. During the early 19th century, so in the 1800s, he reportedly ate between 872 and 999 people. Although differing accounts give different totals of how many people he cannibalized, most say his murder count is only around 99, though the total of 87 was based on a row of smallish stones extended about 200 yards near where Undre lived, with each stone placed by Undre to account for a person he had eaten. Undre is believed to have been shot and killed by colonial government officials in 1840. However, the manner of his death is still undocumented. I should really look into this. Tacombao. Absolute champ, this man. Resisted against all the colonials in his time. Fiji, all these places was known as the Cannibal Isles. The colonists did not want to set shore in Fiji, Papua New Guinea, Hawaii, Samoa, Tonga. Tonga, they got their kingdom. They worked out a kingdom with the royal family over there, but that was the last place that they landed. And the man who discovered Australia, he actually got speared in Hawaii because he tried to do some, what's that, indecrepit acts with some women. But, there's a picture, there should be a picture of this champion. That's not his picture. There's his picture, my brother. Chief. Warrior. There's a stone in the Raki. You want to see that, man? But yeah, so there's one. Now it's going to, that's what we're going to talk about Pebble Way. Now I'll go back into here, check if anybody's here. It's good to see people are still interested and trying to keep informed here. I'm just trying to, because this is information which I do want people to have as more common knowledge, because these are great historical figures of our past which have led to a huge, you know, deferment and direction of the way societies rolled out. I mean, like, so this here, some great Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander warriors. Listed below are some of the better known Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander warriors who defended their lands in the 19th and 20th centuries, so the 1800s and 1900s, and examples of where you can find information about them. Busamarai, Kalute, Dakiria Virpanda, Tundali, Yendamara, Kirtopola, and Maja. So, with also something I might mention to the American or international viewers with Australian Indigenous culture, it must be, it's very much part of the acknowledgement. Well, okay, so the new thing that the government has brought in before every meeting, every school thing, they say, we recognize the traditional custodians of this land. Um, I think it should be like as truth. I mean, 111 Truth Searcher always says, man, like for I broke this out. It's reinstatement before reparations and reconciliation. Man. Reinstatement before reparations and reconciliation. Let me say that again. Reinstatement before reparations and reconciliation. Just one more time. Reinstatement before reconciliation and reparation. So we got to reverse it all back, give them their titles back. So I mean, so the other part is that they need to be warned in their culture that if you are to put a picture or mention the name of somebody who has passed, before presenting that, you should mention that, because it's like, like, I mean, I don't want to destroy the way that they explain it, but it's in more of the sense that that person has passed and he's forming to a spirit, or maybe some may consider the ghost. So if they see a photo, they think that's the ghost, and it's a very traumatic event. So they, once the person's passed and they've had the ceremony, they've passed. There's always remembrance, but when because pictures and things are brought out in New Age documentaries on TV, so they seem to mention all these things. But so let's see. What is the Aboriginal god called? My guess would be Rainbow Serpent, but let's see what it says. Okay, no, it does. In Australian Aboriginal mythology, Belame, or Biame, or Bayame, or Bayama, or Bayami was the creator god and sky father in the dreaming of several Aboriginal Australian peoples of southeastern Australia, such as the Wonnarua, Kamilaroi, Eora, Darkinjun, and Wurundjeri peoples. So these are kind of two of these peoples are around my area, and now that I've moved south. Oh, this is something beautiful too. If I can find it, it's amazing. See, what is Aboriginal cosmology? So that's astrology, right? Or maybe not. I'll look up the astrology in a second. Aboriginal cosmology is the origin and general structure of the universe based in Aboriginal knowledge, law, and science. Spiritual connection to country is foundational to understanding Aboriginal cosmology. Absolutely, because they believe they are the caretakers of their land. We all are, whichever land the native or the people were born on. They are the caretakers of that land. The sun feeds them. They toil the earth. It feeds them. I mean, the sun feeds the land, and they toil it, and it feeds them in return. It's all a balance. You don't take away too much. That you take enough you can eat. Next season there'll be some there. There'll be some for the birds. There'll be enough fish to reproduce. Um, okay, so here the concept of the emu in the sky exists in different Aboriginal groups across Australia. This represents a female emu chasing the male during the mating season. Because the emu is laying their eggs at this time, this appearance of the celestial emu is a reminder that the emu eggs are available for collection. Okay, so let's see this. Okay, so here we go. This is just another little picture I'll break down. You see here, these are traditional Indigenous warriors back before. This would have been in the 1800s, mid 1800s. And you can check their hairstyles. This most likely would have been Tasmanian. Here, the ochre dyed dreadlocks. So, I mean, same with this gentleman over here, brother man here, dreadlocks tied around, but he'd be from a different region. I want to get into the way the constellation is, because what the like what is probably the best up here. So there's the constellation and there's the emu. These are all based off ancient traditional constellations. So I'll put okay, then the turtle. Oh no, that's correct. This is the emu. And see, there's one fact, right? So what they've done, I don't know which one it is. Like there's a major Australian like planetary conservatory business or whatever, like corporation, and what their logo is basically the shape of Australia, but it's formed in all the great I don't know how many others, seven maybe, uh, or maybe a bit more, 7 to 10 ancient Aboriginal constellations, and they fit together in all the piece so that it makes the shape of Australia. It's quite brilliant. I wish I could find it. I've only seen it once, and it's going to be something quite. I don't know the name of the organisation. So yeah. I mean, and that just goes to show to me, that they do hold very you know, underlying. They know that this is the sense of strength within the traditional charts of the history of Australia, but they just don't want to let it out on the open. Yeah, where is it? I'll have to find it in another one. It's a shame. It's really, really interesting how they've done it. It really surprised me. Go back up in here. Yeah. So, if anybody got anything they want to, have a look at, just let me know and I'll type it up. How long have I been going on here? I'll probably roll for another 10 minutes or so. Much appreciation for everyone coming up, man. Um, Oh, I guess I could ask you guys and this is something I've been thinking about. Like I saw a couple of weeks back, they were talking about in the years 470 so, 550 so, 620 so, it was written J 475, I 622, and then J 544. And they're saying that they added on 1,000 years to the calendar in that period. I don't know if anybody has any thoughts or comments on that. And if you do, I'd love to hear, because I heard that a few weeks ago. I was quite intrigued because it could have only been 300 years ago that they've just totally transformed the clock. But there's anyway, why should we get caught in negativity? Just do what we do and be the best, man. Think with a like mind and keep strong moves. We are the strongest people. We know it. They know it. And so something else, a little bit horrific, but hey, part and parcel. This is history. Not very long ago. Not very long ago at all. We're talking grandfathers, great grandfathers. Now, it's called blackbirding. Blackbirding involves the coercion of people through deception or kidnapping to work as slaves or poorly paid laborers in countries distant to their native land. So this is most popular around Australia and the Polynesian islands and stuff like that, like just around Papua New Guinea, Vanuatu, that take them. Um, why is it called blackbirding? I don't know. What was blackbirding? While there is evidence that some of the 62,000 people sent to Australia came willingly and signed contracts to work on the plantation, many others were lured or forcibly onto these boats. This practice, known as blackbirding, I'm sure those 62,000 weren't willingly going. As I just said before, they would have described a really nice place, but it would have been a lot of would have been turmoil. Yep, part of a series of slavery, all chained up. Blackbirding. Blackbirding involves the coercion of people through deception or kidnapping to work as slaves or poorly paid laborers in countries distant to their native land. The term has been most commonly applied to large-scale taking of people indigenous to the numerous islands of the Pacific Ocean during the 19th and 20th century. These blackbird people were called Kanakas. So Kanakas were workers from various Pacific islands employed in British colonies such as British Columbia, Canada, Fiji, Solomon Islands, Vanuatu, Papua New Guinea, and Queensland in the northern parts of Queensland in the 19th and 20th centuries. So Kanaka is a detrimental word, like it's a derogatory word, or South Sea Islanders. There's a flag. They were taken from places such as Solomon Islands, Vanuatu, Niue, Easter Island, Gilbert Islands, Tuvalu, and in the islands of Bismarck Archipelago, amongst others. The owners, captains, and crews of the ships involved in the acquisition of these laborers were termed blackbirders. The demand for this kind of cheap labor principally came from European colonists in New South Wales, Queensland, Samoa, New Caledonia, Fiji, Tahiti, and Hawaii, as well as the plantations of Peru, Mexico, and Guatemala. Laboring on sugarcane, cotton, and coffee plantations in these lands was the main usage for blackbirding labor, but they were also exploited in other industries. Blackbirding ships began operations in the Pacific from 1840s, which continued into the 1930s. Blackbirders from the Americas sought workers for their haciendas in the colonies of Spanish Empire in the estates similar to Roman. Okay, so in their little lovely mansions and to mine the guano deposits of the Chincha Islands. While the blackbirding trade organised by colonists in the place of Queensland, Fiji and New Caledonia used the labourers as plantations, sugarcane, cane, that's my fam man, particularly those producing sugar cane. Man. Examples of blackbirding outside the South Pacific include the early days of pearling industry in Western Australia. Still goes on to this day because they have amazing skills. These men can dive 30, 40 meters for 8 minutes with no breathing apparatus, come up with about 3 bags full of shells worth maybe $3,000, and then they go and give it to the guy who owns the ship, some white man who gives them $5. It's disgusting. At Nickel Bay and Broome, where Aboriginal Australians were blackbirded from the surrounding areas. Practices to the blackbirding continue to the present day. One example of this kidnapping and coercion, often at gunpoint, of indigenous persons in Central America to work as plantation laborers in this region. They are subjected to poor living conditions, are exposed to heavy pesticide loads, and do hard labor for very little pay. And that is all true fact. So that equates to shorter lifespan, poor living standards, little pay, little encouragement, little incentive for the future for their children. They save so hard just to move. And I can feel this and I understand this totally because this is, like legit family line. I'm full blooded from this and like it's only not long ago. Great grandfather was doing all this stuff, and then my parents were the ones to save and get out of Fiji to give the children a life in Australia, which was so lucky. Like, not all of them, my siblings were all grew up there. I was born here and grew up here. I don't feel at home here at all. I feel way more at home in Fiji, but it is what it is in this world. But you know, just gotta be proud of what we are and keep moving and get this knowledge out, man, and get some income going, and link with like-minded people that so that your movement can like snowball in a way and just keep getting bigger and stronger. But you have to be passionate, focused, and devoted and down for the cause. No wishy-washy. So but where we at? Oh no, that's alright. So we're going to like 51:25. Oh shit! Did I like keep? I don't know. Not sure where. I might have just been. Oh, maybe I didn't bring that up. Yeah, I probably didn't. I'll show you now though, just quickly. So this is what I talk about the blackbirding. So in 1869, HMS Rosario seized the blackbirding schooner Daphne and freed its passengers. A schooner. That's something too. British people will understand that. That's like it's the size of a glass that they serve alcohol here, like beer. You have pints, and the smaller one is a schooner. I just noticed this yesterday when I was looking at it. But yeah. So I might like leave it at that for a bit, but I'll continue on this. I'll try and continue on blackbirding for the next couple streams that I do. So start to lay it out. But it's good to see everyone stick to. Oh, nice man, nice Sandra. Caught a few rhymes, bro. If you're still here, but if anyone wants to come up, say anything, last words. He's done. He's not. He's not. Um, what I'll do, we're about now, so I'll probably just like, if no one wants to come up, say anything, man. I'll just end it out. Thanks very much for everybody sticking through. This is Sunray, little brother Tamil 679. Go check out all this stuff. SaBula on Facebook. In the descriptions, I've left a few links. If you can check them out, there's some new music I'm putting out and stuff like that. So I'll probably leave with a couple of those. Oops. Let's see where it was at. Yeah. So I'll probably give people much peace out. So everybody do good, be the best, follow your intuition, trust your gut instinct, be the best you can be. Black is beautiful, black is brilliant, black is bold, black is the best. Use your brain, keep creating, express yourself honestly, be realistic, step by step, you'll get there. Link with the like-minded people, man. Progression. So you know what it is. I'm gonna stop busting some of these tunes that I made. Hopefully you guys like them. Please tell people about them. Do it. Go stop sharing the screen. So this is all original. Made on Logic Pro X. Hope it sounds good in effect. Mic tickety check. I could bust it on the ass. Man, I got the fucking top of the tank and I wanna rap and wanna be the best. The man that be late and to be the rhyme shaker, be the earthquaker, be the bomb shaker. I'm from Australia and I wanna be Jamaica cause I got the good weed. That stanky, that high grade flower gon' stanky, SaBula is good for ya. Herbs out of Healing Nation, I did told ya. I'ma roll up a big bowl and get real high. So the fluid is fluid, and then the funk is the funk, and then the beat is the beat, and then the dunk is the dunk, and then the ball is the ball, but then the ship is the shit, but then the everybody white is a motherfucking piece of shit. Get the fuck on my face, you a disgrace. If you can't turn around and tell me what was on the plate, fucking 50 years ago. 50 years ago was the rips on the toe. Would you turn it all around? Would you reverse the situation? I don't think so. Would you just turn a page? Close your eyes, see the earth and all the land. This is all for occupating on a different man's land. This is the people of the time. This is the people of the crime. This is the people of the grind. This is the people left crying. Mothers lost their daughters, lost fathers. People lost their time with the killing. People lost their legs. People lost their arm. People lost their fingers. People lost their everything. And you lost your wedding ring? Fuck that shit, boy. You telling me? Aren't you on a bound? Wanna be a celebrity? I got more to think. I got more to think. We are the earth caretakers, and that is that. People of the sun, rise up, rise with me. People of the sun, children of the sun, rise up, melanation. Melanation is the factory, so get it back to me. It's like a chapter G, written in the history of the climate sea. Everybody knows that They say primate eagle, that's the primate G, and that's just facts, and that's just wiggity whack, 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 whack. But I'm P to the A to the double AT when I spit from the MIC. 1, 2, 3, so here we go, let's jump and jump. Funk, I wanna flunk it up. And that's wiggity whack, I start slinging, start singing. With the freestyle songs and with the freestyle poems, I wanna rip it, I'm ripping and going to people's homes. I'm online through the internet, and I get my intellect going through the intergalactic absorption, galaxy traveling around. My freestyle ain't really going in. My freestyle ain't really going in. But I can, but if you need it, you're never gonna need it, but you never gonna call the patience. Would you feel, but you never gonna feel, but you never gonna call it. You can feel, but you never gonna feel, but you never gonna call it late. Gonna feel, around, call it low. I. Bring it back. Have a time, be the best you can be, break your mind. People on the store, but establishing. Fuck this shit, this is establishment. A revolution. What we gonna look for? Solutions. Institute for peace to the Q butter and the Ziax. Making moves over in NY. I can do what I best and I try. Audio engineering, I can get by. Doing what I can in Australian. I wanna be the best man to ship for the next band. To be on the next plan, to be on the next plan, to be on the next plane, to the next seas. And I travel over oceans in the words that I quote. Cause I did it as a person now when I was a youth. Now it execute and to control. And I live my life and now I'm getting more headstrong. More ballistic, more paranormalistic. I got the ballistics in and I'm born with this shit. Pure plague parrot, paid my penalty, but that's no back cause I am with serenity. Cheese, greed, fuck that, yo, I need cheese. Cheese is greed, just give me a big bag of cheese. Cheese is greed, all I need is some reef. Cheese is greed, so get back down on your knees and think about it. Would you give yourself 2 Bitcoins if you could get your mother family away? Or would you stack $1 and keep her together? Keep her together and build another way. Build a foundation for your whole nation and your community. Be obligated to be the one the best that can. Be the one the best that can, like the world 100 years ago. Did you forget that fact? Did you forget that fact? That you were greater than great. You were the best at black. You can't believe that. You can't believe that? Take a look in the mirror and you will feel that. That's the fest and the fun, and you will feel it the dunk. Pretend to feed up on the ball like the ball was dunk, and then the goal on the top with a stance and rave, and then you hit a home run today. So check it out, like cheese is greed. Everybody just pass around the reef. Cheese is greed. That's right, we on the same team. Cheese is greed. Step back, everybody, what I mean, like cheese, that's how me money, I send me money. In the way, in the place, in the person, the people, the mountain. See you in the satellite, see you for another round, see you for the day. Wasn't around, when it's everybody good. Talking to me, go to on the way. You're on the way. Bah. Hold up, head up, high, that's why. Hold up, head up, think up, why? Head straight, then multiply. Hold up, head up, wait up, why? This is what you think about, then multiply. Strive, do the best you can, do it. So it's inside your mind. So when you were a child, did you think you were gonna grow up and be the justified one and do all the problems and think all the negative things that you have in your life? I don't think so. So you were gonna be there, you had the girls on your hands and the boys in the field. So you was on check for school, you were the coolest at school, but you got the fool, but you just think not. Everything goes in a quick knot because easy come, easy go. I can tell you that quick to build a foundation and you're gonna fucking stack quick. That's right, get your dress up. Get your people boys on your points of dress up. Financial literacy. That you literally people can see, but people get joined, want to get wasted. Caught in the trap, caught in the trap, caught in the trap. They pull a crack, but it's caught in the trap. Caught in the trap, caught in the trap. Caught a smack, but it's caught in the trap. Caught the trap. Nowadays, people thinking that it's cool to go around the blast, slinging bags of cool. Dumbass fool, dumbass fool. They take a bag of Xannies, then they start to drool. They take a bag of peruse, then they start to drool. Take another bag of something, what? Shitting in the stool, motherfucker. Get the fuck out of school, you know this. Let's straight up, wait up. Why does it work straight up? I think of the chances in both romances. I think of the days where I had ceremony played. People be talking about much peace, and we out. Killer. See you soon, man. Be the best you can. Tell everybody about it. Check that comment, like, love, peace. You know who this is.